Okay, welcome to another Shop Talk. Today is my AD951 is not very well. There's a problem with the calibration on the thicknessing. Now, I only really spotted this when I started using the wide belt sander, because I do most of my stuff custom. I set this to like 50 mil, whatever it is, put it through. I know everything's the same, and I usually just glue it up. I don't often get the calipers out because I'm designing these pieces as one-off. So the only other time that I would check calibration would be that if I've done a run of legs or a run of panels or whatever it is, and then I've missed one out or made a mistake and I need to do a second run, obviously I need to match them up perfectly. And that's when I start using the calipers. So I don't know how long this has been out. I've got no way of telling. Unfortunately, it is out of warranty, so I'm a bit gutted about that. This is what's arrived from Felder, and I'm hoping this is the fix. It is the rise and fall motor, and it has the encoder in it, more importantly, which feeds the digital display. Now, the problem I'm finding is that it's slipping. It's about 1 to 1.5 mil roughly, and I can't make it do it. So if I go up, down, up, down, up, down, it doesn't seem to slip. And then you come back to it and then it slipped, and there's no rhyme or reason. First of all, one of the key things was I've been starting the machine and raising and lowering the bed as I hit start. That could be a voltage drop. So I went for a couple of months trying to get out of that habit of doing two things at once. That didn't fix it. So finally I've took the plunge and I've bought this, and I'm really hoping that this fixes it. I am a bit worried because it's very hard to repeat the problem. It's going to have to be something that I'll pay attention to going forward for the next month or so and see if it slips again. As far as I remember, I did calibrate this 2 or 3 times in the first year, and maybe I shouldn't have had to, and maybe I should have reported it, but I didn't. So anyway, let's get this thing fitted. Doesn't look like a difficult job. I'll show you the best I can how I do it. Rise and fall motor with, more importantly, the encoder that feeds the digital display. Let's get going. So I've just taken the end panel off. It's just 2 screws with a captive nut so you don't lose it. And this is the motor, and it looks like it's just 2 clip-on connections here. So I'm just gonna have a look at the other one. I think I've just got to remove a couple of bolts, and then there is some little kind of pulley or whatever that you take off this motor and put it on the other one, but we'll have a quick look. So I was hoping to not have to remove the kind of main mount, but there's no way to get the motor out. It must be, I've got to remove this, the actual bracket which holds the motor in. Just got to try and make sure the tension's okay. Okay, swing it round. Oh, the chain's dropped off everywhere. May not be quite as simple as I hoped. I'm also covered in oil. Okay, so there it is. That's the old one. It's the old motor out. Let's have a look. So just going to remove that grub screw and put it on the new motor. Okay, so took the grub screw out. Do not lose, that is a loose kind of shaft there, or the shaft, the alignment key. The alignment key in the shaft, I should say, is loose. It's a loose one, so do not lose that. And this was all the way down to the bottom flush. It wasn't very tight, oddly enough, but it couldn't move because of the spline. So tighten that up. That's pretty much it. They had a cable tied around the motor. I might do all that later. I'm just going to get this thing in, and then we can see how we get on. So originally I was hoping to just remove the motor and leave the plate for alignment. It was fiddly. I've covered myself in oil or grease rather, from the main pillars there. So you're going to have to remove this anyway. So you may as well just remove this mounting plate here. I think the alignment's going to be okay because I can see the mark, and also there's a that's interesting. I've just spotted that the locking nut is not up. It's not locked. I don't know if that matters. I'm going to check. Okay, so that was pretty awkward, but not difficult, just awkward to get in. Just clip it back in. Now I'm going to run it for, I need to run it for a few days because I can't get this thing to fail on demand, unfortunately. It's one of those things. So run it for a few days and let's see how it goes on. So once you've got your motor, to calibrate one of these, you simply get some material, pass it through, get your calipers on it, and then the reset is at 20 mil. So it doesn't matter what it is. This is 23.1, so I knew it was out by 1, so I went 19.9, reset, and then that moved it up by 1. Or if you can't be bothered, just do it on a 20 mil piece. When that's bang on 20 mil, hit reset, and then you should be good to go. So I know this was 21.1. Do a few tests. Okay, so I've left it a couple of weeks after changing the motor. I'm just going to run some ply through, just take a real skim off, like 0.1 of a mil, see how accurate it is across the whole thing and see how well it's held its height. Okay, so on the first pass there, what you saw was me putting this through at 11.5 mil, which is what I did 2 weeks ago with this same bit of wood. You saw the pencil lines, almost none of them disappeared, so it's pretty spot on. I then took an extra mil off, making it 11.4, and when I go around here, 11.4, 11.4. So that has basically fixed the problem. Now what I was told by Felder is there's an encoder on the motor, feeds back the information to the digital display, and that was slipping, and that's why it was going out. I also checked the four corners of the bed, because when you change the motor, the chain comes off, so you do need to make sure that you don't skew the bed in any way. I hope you found that interesting, and I hope someone found that useful. Thanks so much for watching as always. I've got loads of new patrons. I'm really, really grateful. I love the Patreon page. Put a lot more in-depth stuff on there. So if you wanted to see some more in-depth stuff, come over to the Patreon page. There's a video coming soon as well for the kiln build. I'm just trying to finish the plans and the SketchUp. Patrons are going to get that for free. So if you're a patron, you're going to get it, and it'll be available on my Etsy site just for a small fee anyway soon. Thanks a lot again. I'll see you later.